We're going to start in seated position. And if you need to move the fleshy part of the bottom away to find your sit bones, please do so. And take a minute to just kind of move back and forth. Get a sense of those sit bones, which is the bony part of the behind, anchoring down into the mat, into your blanket if you're sitting on a blanket. And then feel the belly button draw back and the tailbone slide down. So what this does is takes the anterior tilt out of the pelvis and draw nice and tall. Touch the center of the top of your head and grow up nice and long. Hands come to your knees, close your eyes gently, smile, take a deep breath in through the nose, blow it out through your mouth. Deep breath in through your nose, blow it out through your mouth. And then return to normal breath. And we're going to start this morning with some alternating nostril breathing. So with your right hand, bring your thumb out and your little finger. We're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And what alternate nostril breathing is we're going to close off the right nostril with the thumb and the left nostril with the little finger. And we'll do this first, closing off the right nostril. Take a deep breath in through the left nostril. Close off the left nostril, blow out through the right nostril. Breathe in through the right nostril. Close off the right nostril, breathe out through the left nostril. Breathe in through the left nostril. Close off the left nostril, breathe out through the right nostril. Breathe in through the right nostril. Close off the right nostril, breathe out through the left. So you have the rhythm. Find your breath. Alternating nostril breathing. We're going to do 10 rounds. So I'm going to grow quiet. I'm still here. And this will be the end of one. You might be faster or slower than me. Go at your own pace. But notice what it feels like to slow down. So wherever you're at, we're coming to our last 2 rounds. And this is the last round, so as you inhale through your left nostril, exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close off the right nostril, open the left nostril, exhale all the way. Release your hand. Take a nice deep breath in. Hold it at the top of the inhale, hold it. Hold it, drop out of your shoulders, engage your core, keep holding the breath and blow it out all the way while bending forward. To go only as far as your body will allow you. This is the first movement today. Nice deep breath in, draw it up. Exhale, fold it forward. Pausing at the bottom of the exhale. Hold it, and inhale up, and return to normal breath. Inhale and exhaling through the nose. Notice what's happening in the shoulders. Have they joined into the party today? Close your eyes, come within. Let that thinking mind count your breath. Let it really have the space to come inside. And as the chatter goes on of the thinking mind, the monkey, it wants to be in control. So this part of yoga is about teaching the monkey when it's time for it to be in control and when it's time for it to step aside and allow the true self to lead the way. So giving your monkey something to do, inhaling 1, exhaling 1, inhaling 1, exhaling 1, until you no longer need to give it a task. Three more breaths. Stay with it. Two more. And last one. And on the exhale, begin small circles, just circling around that pelvic bowl. It matters not to me which way you go, just that you really allow the body to circle around the pelvis. Inviting movement in the spine. It'll get more dynamic as we go. Remembering to breathe, bringing that breath in. Noticing the sense of calm as we balance the brain to start with. So today is going to be about balancing the body. We're going to work left side, right side, forward and backwards, and twisting left and right. So bring the shoulders into it. Let them begin to roll with it. Considering the idea that the ribs move individually. Let your arms get bigger. Let that upper body begin to be more fluid. Maybe bring them over your head, circling them around. Finding your breath. And what happens with this is we begin to move into a more organic way. It becomes less linear. You follow the body. The body might no longer go in a circle. It might go in an oval. And then, as you're going, begin to slow down. Begin to find that point in the slowing where you meet resistance and pause. Pause into the resistance. It's going to look different for everybody. And then begin to move the opposite direction. Come out of the resistance. What would it feel like in our body, in our life, if we moved out of resistance? Now the body is lightly moving the opposite direction. Maybe letting that free-flowing arms come back down to your knees. Noticing how you're circling around the pelvis. The circle might be big, it might be small. But as your hands come resting onto your knees and you begin to stir that pot of the pelvis, notice what it feels like to invite the belly button to come back to the spine, lifting up. Notice how that lower lumbar spine, the lower part of your back, begins to feel supported. And then let the circles grow smaller. Just a little bit smaller. What's happening here is we've got an opening in the hips too. So they might begin to talk to you. And then even smaller until we come back to center, growing long in the crown. Remembering to breathe. Bringing our hands to the shoulders and begin that small twisting, left to right. So we're going to change the breath here. We're going to shorten it up. We're going to go. Bringing a little bit of breath of fire into this. You might notice that that lumbar spine begins to move and open up. Picking up the pace. Adding the arms in now, punching it out. Let the intention be to push away whatever you don't need anymore. Notice the hands are at the heart space. Now, keep going, but flip the hands around and bring them into the heart. Begin to slow it down. We're scooping in what we need. Maybe reach to the sky and bring it in. It changes it a little bit. Slowing it down. Slowing it down. Now, scooping it in, bringing it into the heart. Scooping it in, bringing it into the heart. This is everything we do need. Everything the universe has to offer us, to teach us, to help us grow and learn. Everything that helps our heart be joyful and happy. Reaching it around. Bringing it in. Resting that left hand on top of the right hand. Pausing, growing long and tall. Feel the warmth of your hands lying on top of that breastbone. Giving yourself all the love that you have to give to yourself. Unending. Kindness begins with ourself. We must be kind. We must think kind thoughts to ourselves. So notice how you talk to yourself today. And if you find that you're talking to yourself in a way that you would talk to no one else, change those thoughts, change those words. Deep breath in, blow it out. Deep breath in, blow it out. One more time, deep breath in. Blow it out. Hands come down to our knees. We're going to inhale and draw that belly button forward, the breastbone forward. Actually, we're drawing the belly button back to the spine, but our heart forward. And then we're going to exhale it back. So we're cat-cowing right here in seated position. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Drawing life in. Bringing in our life force. Exhaling out anything we no longer need. Inhaling it in. And exhaling it out. Inhaling it in. And exhaling it out. Notice how the pelvic girdle, this whole part of the body, rotates forward and then back underneath us. Forward. And this is equally important as the part of the suppleness of the spine, the fluidity of movement. One more time, inhaling all the way in, exhaling it all the way out. Nicely done. Inhaling right back up onto those sit bones. Take a moment, open your feet just a little bit and come off your blanket onto the mat, bringing your feet together in cobbler's pose. Now remember, further out is easier because you have less rotation in the legs. So if you want this less challenging, move your feet away from you. Work the best you can to bring the soles of your feet together. And then if you have the space, bring those feet in. The trick here is to be able to still sit up on those sit bones, nice and tall. Drop out of the shoulders. Take a deep breath in, taking a hold of either your shins, your ankles, or you can clasp around your feet, wherever it feels most comfortable to you. I usually go with ankles. Inhale nice and tall, and then exhale. Draw that heart forward. Take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale back into cat. Inhale up into cow. Now notice how this opens deep in the hip girdle, deep in the groin. Exhale back. It also opens through the intestinal tract, the whole digestive system. This is a great way to invite processing our life, digesting our life into our practice. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. This time, as we inhale, we're going to grow nice and tall through the crown, back up onto our sit bones, inhaling up. And as we exhale, we're going to lead with our heart and dive forward. Forward fold. Letting this be gentle and kind, allowing the movement to happen in your time. Sometimes your time is different than my time. So you might invite yourself to consider the idea of hanging out in a posture longer than I do, or if it's more challenging than you want, coming out of the posture. Knowing that any time resting is acceptable. Child's pose is a great place to go. Folding into yourself. 3 more breaths. And inhaling, growing nice and tall. Lengthening through the left leg. Let's go left leg first. I might be opposite of you, that's okay. Right leg is pulled in. So if your knees are talking to you, give them some love. The way I like to give my knees love if they're talking to me is to take my hands open like this, put a palm on either side of the knee, and just give it a little rocking sensation, jostling it through there. Because when you use the palms of your hands, there's actually an energy system in each of the palms. And that's why when you touch, if you fall down and hurt yourself, you grab it with the palms of your hands. It's because that's our own natural healing ability. So shake it out, give that whole leg, begin to rotate it, not just at the knee, but rotate that whole big bone into the hip. Yeah, feel that movement open in its own time. Now, lengthen through that heel, bringing that foot up as if there's a wall at the end of your foot. Inhale those hands up overhead, exhaling, diving straight forward, honoring where you can reach. I can reach my shin today. That's enough. We're going to revisit this after we open the hips some more. Nicely done. Nice deep breath. Knowing that if having your foot next to your thigh is too deep for you, you can always bring it in next to your calf. Just do whatever's available to you. Inhaling those hands up, exhaling, turning towards that knee, dropping the hands down, anchoring that right hand behind you, left hand over your knee. And then begin to deepen this twist. Sometimes the spine will move on its own, and turn and look over that right shoulder. Now, if the shoulders are wanting to help you twist, thank them and then lower them down. Breathe into it, still working through that left heel. Feel the heat begin to build. Breathing into it. Nicely done. Inhaling, turning the head first, following with the shoulders, inhaling those hands back up, exhaling, diving forward again, meeting yourself wherever you're at. The body every day shows up differently. And the reason the body shows up differently every day is because our mind shows up differently every day. It's not our true self, our spirit, it's the thinking mind. You know the saying of, I'm in my own way? What gets in our own way is our ability to discern the thinking mind. Rather than acting on instinct, we can think about it, decide whether we want to or not, free will, choice. What would it feel like to just step out of that and follow your intuition, your gut, your natural ability, instinct? Inhaling, coming right up, drawing that left foot in beneath the right foot. We're going to do one inhale, grow long, exhale, dive forward. Notice if it's different. I'm noticing in my body that I can fold forward a little bit deeper. 2 more breaths. Last one. Inhaling, drawing up, lengthening through that right leg. Now, the reason I always invite you to do it slowly is when we've had our knees bent like that, sometimes they talk to us. Especially as we get older, we have a tendency to move less. So palms of the hands, either side of the knee, rock, jostle it out, rock it out, give it a shake, take a hold of that femur, take it clear up into the hip, rock the whole leg. So there's actually a bunch of different joints in here, a lot of different bones, but there's a major bone right here. That's our hip into our femur, top of the knee, into 2 bones of our lower leg, creating that knee joint. Nicely done. Now, lengthen through that heel, inhaling those hands up, exhale, head forward. So what stops us from going forward? 2 things stops us from going forward. The very number one first thing is our mind, our thinking mind. Oh, you can't bend forward because your hamstrings are tight. Well, the other reason is your hamstrings might really be tight. So the body-mind connection, allowing that thinking mind to move out of the way. This is when we invite the monkey to go to the other room, get out of the way, and ask ourselves, our true self, our heart space, is there space to soften into this? Take a deep breath in. Listen for that true answer. So you know the difference between that soft, quiet voice and the screaming, yelling chatter of the monkey. It's different. Inhaling, rising up, taking a nice deep breath in, hands up overhead. Exhaling, twisting to that left knee. Using that left hand behind you, the right hand to help you twist into this. Looking over your shoulder, breathing into it. Finding your breath. 2 more. Inhaling, bringing that head back first, then the shoulders. Coming all the way back around, inhaling those hands up overhead. Exhaling, diving forward. Sinking down into it. What does it feel like to get out of your own way? Nice deep inhale, drawing up. Meeting that right foot to the left foot. Last opening in cobbler's pose, drawing nice and tall. Open those knees. Exhale, diving forward. What's different? Notice, is that pelvis a little more even? Is that low back a little less sore, a little less tight? How about the knees? What about the groin? Engage that pelvic floor. Inhaling, rising up, opening both legs into a straddle position. Working through those heels. Inhaling those hands up overhead, exhaling, heading this direction first. So whatever way this direction is for you, go that way. Breathing into it. Notice how the body will soften as you breathe into it. Inhaling, coming back up, exhaling the other direction. Reaching for that foot if you can reach it, awesome. If your shin is as far as you can go, great. If your knee is as far as you can go, that's perfect. Perfect in your body. Inhaling, coming back to center, exhaling those hands down, releasing those legs in, walk them in. And then we're gonna go right into standing. So what's the best way for you to get up? If you need to come to hands and knees, right leg up, help yourself up, and then come all the way up. That's a great way. If you can cross your feet into Indian style or easy pose and stand straight up, feel free to do that. We're going to then face the long way on the mat, open our feet into wide angle. How are those hips this morning? Are they talking to us? Okay, so remember when the core's on vacation, our knees naturally drop in like this, okay? So as we engage the core, our knees spin open and draw out. How wide can you open those legs? Open those arms, trust that you can do it. Check your level, find your 5-pointed star. Now, from right here in this point, feel the energy come up from the bottom of your feet. So it's almost as if the energy is coming up this foot, crossing out this hand, and coming up this foot and crossing out this hand. But then from each one of these hands, it's as if there's a line of energy down to the floor, holding our hands up. Now drop out of those shoulders. Don't make them work any harder than they have to. Palms facing down. And the energy comes in our fingertips and comes right out the top of our head. Now imagine that the energy from the heavens is coming down through our crown and going out every limb, out your arms, out your legs. Feel the energy move through you. Feel the vibration healing as it goes through you. Spinning that right foot open, hinging at the hip, and tipping right into triangle. There it is. Now open that shoulder. I'm going to step away and help a couple people in the room. Find your breath. Remember, this is less about how far down you go and more about allowing your body to open within the even pain. Oh, watch your fingers there. Now, reach for that ceiling. Really reach for it and grow long here. The work is all through here, okay? Nicely done. Everybody's doing a fantastic job. What would it feel like to invite that belly button in? Slide that tailbone down. There you go, good. Excellent. Lengthen through your crown. Find your breath. Everybody at home that has stopped breathing, please start breathing. Oh, where's the balance? There it is. And tip right into it. Here we go. 3 more breaths. Inhaling, lifting straight up, tipping out of it, letting those hands come down, giving them a little bit of a break. Bring those feet back forward, finding ourselves right back into that 5-pointed star. There it is. Lengthen into it. So the other day we did something, I don't know what class we did, but my shoulders were sore. So drop out of them. Let that energy through the palms of your hands that are resting on those poles, those beams of energy down to the earth. Hold those arms up versus your shoulders. Spin open through the left foot. There it is. Hinge at the hips and tip into it. Other way, Carrie. Oh no, that's right. Good job. Now, invite that belly button in. Slide through that tailbone. There it is. Feel it. Lengthen through the crown. Nicely done at home. Looking good. Remember, it's not about how deep you go. It's about opening up. Open up that heart. Breathe into it. Finding your breath. Three more. Here we go. Inhaling, drawing up. Tipping out of it. Exhaling those hands down. Give himself a break. Bring both feet forward. Here we go. Yeah. Work at your level. Remember, if you need a break, go to child's pose, take a seat, whatever you need to do. Inhaling those hands up, coming back into 5-pointed star. So what we're going to do here is we're first going to hinge at the hips, headed straight forward. So our hands are still up. So from right here, engage that pelvic floor, slide out of that tailbone, and then twist as if you're going to reach your left hand to your right foot. Okay? Deep into it. Remember to keep that core engaged. You'll lose it in the knees if you don't, which looks like knock knees. So when you see somebody who has really bad knock knees, typically their core is weak. They'll have a lot of back pain. Breathing into it. Three more breaths. You can do it. Nicely done. Inhaling, spinning back to flat back. Right here. Still hovering. Core is strong. Bring that belly button back. This is the core work right here. Holding that body. Hinging at the waist. Hinging at the hips. Versus the waist. Belly button up to the spine. Tailbone sliding down. Inhaling. Lifting and reaching for that other foot. Twisting into it. There it is. Breathe into it. 3 more breaths, almost there. Nicely done, inhaling flat back, exhaling those hands straight down to the floor, coming fully into a forward fold here. So double check that core, slide through that tailbone, lengthen through the crown. There it is, feel that whole body open. From the outside edges of the legs, hamstrings, tailbone sliding down. Let go of your head, shake it no. Shake it yes. Shake it no. Good job. Inhaling, walking those hands forward, coming into a wide angle, downward facing dog. Let go of the head, let it go. I'm holding my head today. So now, sink back into the back of your heels. So in this posture, typically your feet can go down to the floor. If you have to bend your knees a little bit, that's okay. Hinge at the hips. Let that heart travel into your knees. Feel the hamstrings and the calf muscles all open, the back of your legs from the heel to the buttocks. Nicely done. Deep breath in. Begin to walk those hands in, walking them in. Now, right here, supporting yourself on a block or the floor or your knees, spin those feet open to the corners of the mat and drop that tail down. Drop it down. Inhale it up. Drop it down. So, very important here that you engage your core. Inhale it up. Let those knees travel to the little toe. So if you feel like you're spread out a little too far, you can bring your feet in a little bit, but everybody looks really good today. So exhaling, dropping down. So this is a supported squat. Make sure that belly button is up to your back. Tailbone sliding down. Three more. Two more. All of yoga, it stimulates all the acupuncture lines, all the meridians. Last one, here we go. We're gonna squat down, we're gonna hold there, hold right there. Left hand to the left knee, right hand to the right knee coming up. There it is. This is the only place that I'm allowing the shoulders to come up to your ears. Now, sink that tail down. Slide that tailbone like you're gonna drop it down to the floor. Three more breaths. You can do it. Sink it a little bit lower. A little bit lower. A little bit lower. And then come all the way up. Woo, hello. How is that? I think we need to do that again. So how we're going to do that is take one, pull your toes in, and then draw your heels in. So we're going to shorten our stance just a teeny. Okay. Now sink down. Drop it down. Here we go. We're going to hold it. Find your breath. Find it. 5 more. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Inhaling all the way up. Those of you at home, you can jump to the center if you want. You can walk your feet in. I'm walking my feet in. There we go. So from right here, we're going to just do a little bit of movement, and then we're going to go back to the floor. So what this looks like is there's going to be a step to the side and squat. Now, if this hurts you, just open your feet a little wider than the hip, and you can squat straight down like this. But I'd like some lateral movement here. So be mindful of knees and hips. Starting right here, hands on your hips or in front. I like my hands on front because it's a little more balancing, okay? So we're gonna engage our core. We're gonna take a nice deep inhale, and we're gonna step to the right first. Go down, inhale up, step center, exhale, down, inhale up, exhale center, inhale step, exhale down, inhale up, step to the center, side, so find your breath. Exhaling is always on the work. Remember to engage that core, so that means belly button back to the spine, sliding down through the tailbone. Good job. We only have 2 more to go, so we're halfway there. And this is the last one. All the way, you got it. Coming to center, finding your mountain. Shake it out. Find that mountain, be nice and strong. Tall mountain. So we're gonna move into balance. So if you need to turn and look a different way, you can do that. Finding your mountain pose. Feet are hip distance apart. We're gonna do tree today because we've opened those hips really nicely. Let's start with the left foot, pouring into the left foot. So that's opposite of how we typically go. Okay, and as you find where your foot anchors into your leg, make sure it's above or below the knee. Inhaling those hands up overhead and find your breath. Exhaling out of the arms, stepping out of your tree. Give that left leg some movement, give it some space, and then reestablish your mountain. Find your dristi, pour into the right foot, open that left foot. Where does it fit on your leg? Anywhere but over the knee. When I mean over the knee, I mean right here over the knee joint, okay? So you could be above the knee. And as you're ready, you can add your arms in. The wind is blowing in my world today, wow. Find your dristi, lock in on it. So if you're wiggling all over the place, engage your core, lock in on that point that's not moving. Give it your full attention, complete and total focus. Exhaling out of those arms, stepping out of your tree. Give that right leg some love. Whatever it needs, a few circles, some hip circles reverse, and then find your way back to the floor. So on the way back to the floor, if you need a downward dog getting there, this is a great place to do that. Coming all the way down onto your behind, feet in standing. We're going to roll all the way down. Staying in line with opening our hips, grab your strap. And bringing the right foot in, hook that strap over the toe of the right foot. Lengthen through the left foot, through the left heel. So the lengthening happens here through the heels of both legs. The work is straightening the leg. So engage that belly button down to the floor. Slide that tailbone. Slight lift in the pelvic floor, just like a half kegel, okay? Feel the strength here. And let your hand come up. Now, some of you are gonna be able to grab your toe and do this and straighten your heel. I'm not one of those people, so I like to lengthen my arms with a strap. And I still struggle with straightening my leg. So the work for me is kicking through my heel while anchoring my hips down to the floor. So I have to really engage my core. Nice core work here. Keep breathing. Breathe into it. Take a hold of this strap with your left hand. With your right hand, open it into a T position. Okay? Now begin to slowly cross the foot over the body. Now, I immediately meet resistance. Don't roll into a twist just yet. This is about the hip. This is about the deep rotators in the hips. And sometimes they're really screaming. Mine are screaming. And my IT band, the IT band is the long tendon band on the outside of your leg. You know how the outside of your leg will sometimes just ache? There's a huge, it's the longest tendon in the entire body. And it works really hard helping keep us stable. Now, as you're crossing that leg over the body, let the work be in the hip. Keep working through the heel. Keep engaging your core. Keep breathing. Are you working through the left heel also? Awesome. Find your breath. Now we are going to take this into a twist. And before we do so, make sure that your core is deeply supported. That belly button is really working to get to the floor. And then begin to cross the body into a twist. You may or may not go deep into a twist. I'm a long ways from the floor. Some people will twist all the way over and be able to lay their foot on the floor. Now, if you want to deepen the twist one more level, take your nose and turn it to your right hand. That is a deep twist. Breathe into it. Bleed into it, I say. But breathe into it. Find your breath. Keep reigniting that core, supporting the center of the body. 3 more breaths, we're almost there. Nicely done. Inhaling, taking a hold of the strap with the right hand, helping yourself out of this. Don't hurt yourself. Give yourself as much support and help as you need. Switching hands again. Now with the left hand, place it over the hip point right here and then open that right leg all the way open. There it is. Now, if you have the space and you can open it with your head, your foot up over your head, cool, do that. This body was like, yeah, we'll dream about that right now. So, still speaking kindly to yourself, myself included. Breathing into it. Core's working to keep that back flat on the floor. You find your hip beginning to come off the floor, don't let your leg open quite as far. Inhaling, drawing it back to center. Releasing that knee to your chest, taking that strap off. Exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale, release it out. Exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale, release it out. Last time, exhale, draw it in. Inhale, release it out. And then I always like to wiggle flat on the floor so that I have the sensation of being flat. Lengthen through that right leg. Bring that left foot in. Hooking that strap around the toe. Lengthening it up. Now, remember, we're working through that right heel also. Sometimes this is the work. Breathing into it. Working to straighten both legs. Always working for the lengthening of the legs. Taking the right hand onto the strap, begin to bring that left foot across the body, working through the hip to start with. Is your core still engaged? Mine wasn't. And keep bringing that belly button down, sliding that tailbone down. Over and over and over, we invite that core to support us. 3 more breaths. And now begin the journey of crossing the body into that twist. Ah, says my body. Remember, it's not about how deep you go. It's about how you honor what you can do. Giving yourself the space to open in your own time. Keep breathing. You need to deepen it. Look to that opposite hand. Inhaling, turning that nose back to center. 3 more breaths. Inhaling, switching hands, bringing that leg back to center. And now with the right hand, holding that right hip point down, opening that leg the other direction. Remember to continue to work through both heels. I keep forgetting about my right leg and catch my foot just taking a vacation. But if you work through both legs, it helps to stabilize the pelvis. So as you're working through your right heel and belly button to the floor, sliding that tailbone down, slight lift in the pelvic floor, then the space is available for the leg to open. Nicely done. Inhaling, coming back to center. Releasing that knee into the chest. Exhaling, drawing it in. Inhaling it out. Exhaling, drawing it in. Inhaling it out. Exhaling, drawing it in. Inhaling, letting that foot come down onto the floor, squaring off the hips. We're headed right into bridge. So hands come down to the floor. Exhale, roll in. Inhale, release it out. This time, as you exhale, press those feet into the floor. Really feel that belly button go down as the feet press up. You don't even have to use your glutes at this point. And then as you reach a point where the pressing into the floor takes you no further, engage those hips and lift yourself up into bridge. Now remember, catch that beach ball between your knees. We're going to do 5 intentional breaths here. Opening the back. Two more. Last one. On the exhale, full expression. Lift it all the way up as far as you can go. And then lower down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Release those knees to the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Give yourself so much gratitude for arriving on your mat today. Rocking side to side. Ask your body, oh great wise body, vehicle of this life, do I need anything else? And if you do not, lengthen through that left leg. Lengthen through the right leg. Palms spin open. And feel yourself soften. completely into the earth. Nice deep breath in, let it out with the last sigh. Feeling everything melting to the earth. As the eyes grow heavy and the breath grows shallow and the mind slips away. That space between here and there. Attachment to nothing. Open to everything. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Find your way back to easy pose. Slowly, gently, allowing. And as you arrive back into seated pose, bring your hands to your heart. We're going to end class today with 3 long, deep Oms. So we'll inhale and exhale. And inhale to Om. It is with deep gratitude and appreciation for all of you. Thank you. Namaste.